Have you guys seen on like that meme thing where it's or like on Twitter where it says like first gear, current gear or whatever?
Yeah.
Man, my gear was so bad, so bad. So I walked into SoCal Pro in June of 2013, right? Go in there, I start training, and probably in September, I was at class one night, and I went over the top rope backwards to the outside, just on my own. I was just like, I'm going to do this. It was like at the end of class or some shit like that.
When he was young and dumb.
Yeah. No, seriously. And Jeff Dino was, obviously there, and he just goes, he sees me go over backwards, over the top rope to the floor. And he goes, hey, you want to be in the Rumble? Because obviously in a Rumble,
Obviously you can go over the top rope.
That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do is go over the top rope. And I was like, of course I do. So I debuted in October 11th of 2013. And that was in the Rumble, so you ain't got to do much. You ain't got to know, as long as you can throw a punch, which I didn't know how to throw a punch. As long as you know how to go over the top rope, really, that's all the qualifications you need. So I'm like, okay, yeah, actually, yeah, I want to do this. And I'm like, I need gear. How do I get gear? I talked to SoCal Crazy. He goes, I have a guy down in National City. He'll make your gear. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I went online and I bought boots. Originally I wore boots in wrestling, and they were orange and blue.
Mistake number one.
Yeah. And I bought them on a website. They were like $250. Mm-hmm. And I got the shipping info, and they were coming from Puerto Rico. And I was like, holy crap. I didn't know that, what are they doing coming from Puerto Rico? I hope they show up. So I go down to Nestor's guy. His name's Arturo, and he works at this place in National City, which is probably only about 20 minutes from where I live. And he works at a place called Price Breakers. So I'm like, okay, cool. Type in Price Breakers to the Google Maps, and I go there. I walk in to Price Breakers, and it's like a flea market. And so I got to tell you, National City, that population is mostly Hispanic, right? So I walk in, I'm a white guy walking into this place. It's a flea market. Bottom, it's like a flea market. There's a lot of little pop-up stands. So I'm walking around. I'm like, okay, this guy obviously probably has like a wrestling gear making attire pop-up stand or something like that. I'm walking around. I'm looking. This thing's 2 floors. I can't find anything that looks like a wrestling gear maker store. So I start asking around. And at this time in my life, I had shorter hair. I didn't have a beard. And I probably looked like a cop, right? And there's a code of silence probably going on in this place. So I'm like, hi. I would just walk up to any of these people that own these little pop-ups, and I would be like, I'm looking for Arturo. Do you know Arturo for wrestling gear? And they just act like they don't know who he is. They don't act like they can speak English. So I'm walking around this place for like 45 minutes. And I'm just like, hi, I'm looking for Arturo. Do you know who Arturo is? I've done 5 laps around this place, and I keep walking by this flower stand that's on the outside perimeter of this building, and I still just keep walking around. I walk around this whole strip mall area just looking to see like where this guy is. Finally, I was about to leave. And I walk up to this guy and I go, hi, do you know who Arturo is? He makes wrestling gear, lucha. And he goes, oh, yeah, he's the janitor. And I'm like, what? Like the janitor? And I go, do you know where he's at? And he goes, yeah, I'll show you where his office is. So I walk with this guy over into this area, and it's the flower shop. And there's this little closet. And he goes, he speaks to this portly Hispanic man that's sitting in the office with a sewing machine and all that kind of stuff, and points at me, and I'm like, "Hi, are you Arturo?" And he goes, "Oh yes," and I start talking to him, and that's my gear maker, the guy that's in this little office at a flower shop. But he's got fabric, he's got a sewing machine, he's got everything around him, and he made my first pair of biker shorts. So that was, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is like it's almost like an introduction to the wrestling world, right? This is not a glamorous lifestyle when you first start.